It's so quick to gear up a fresh level 85 character in the Mists of Pandaria pre-patch. The first thing I would recommend you to do is to sign up for the new Threeman Scenario. This is a brand new thing and therefore the queue time are also low. This scenario is rather short and you can probably complete it in less than 15 minutes. You can also sign as whatever role you would like to. At the end you'll receive a rare treasure. Maybe you're as unlucky as I were and only got fireworks, but the other two people in this group got themselves an epic item. You can for example get different weapons, this staff, and there's also a healer version and other epic items. So if you're not lucky enough with the treasure, then you could always just sign once again, because there's no limit to how many treasures you can get every day. For those of you watching this video before July 6th, then you can also head in to a limited event. In here there's going to be one encounter you'll need to defeat, and upon completing this there will also drop an epic cloak, item level 403. There's going to be a version for every single role in the game, so it's going to be a great way for you to also easily get yet another epic item. But you probably have to do this a couple of times before you're also getting the right version. If you're watching this video later on, well then just skip this part and move on to the next thing, which is to sign for a random battleground. Why? Well, upon completing this you will also receive a high amount of honor. And what has been changed in the pre-patch is that all the items you can purchase at the quartermaster no longer requires conquest points, but can instead be purchased for honor, and some of these can pretty much be bought just by completing one battleground. One of the best ways to get quick honor is also to do the battle for Wintergrasp every 3 hours, but for some reason I can't sign up for this in the pre-patch with the tool, therefore I'll also need to move to the zone. But when I did this, it was also working, so yes, you can still do the battle for Wintergrasp in the pre-patch. It has also been buffed, or well, at least improved. Now the vehicles have a lot more health, so both factions do actually have a chance to win this battle. This used to be a big problem before the pre-patch, as Horde were usually never winning any battles. For those of you with a level 85 main character, you can also spend your justice points and purchase the Bind on Equip epic braces. There's a version for every single class and role in the game. At the quartermaster you can of course no longer spend valor points, as these are no longer obtainable. So with your justice points you can also get insane epics, so it's time for you to start farming dungeons. No matter what version you're doing, so if it's a normal heroic or the Twilight dungeons, then all of them are rewarding you justice points, so you can do whatever you prefer. You might also have noticed a big change to wands. These are now main hand, giving you a ton of spell power, so you're using this instead of for example a mace or a sword. Therefore, if we go back to the Justice Quartermaster and you skip all the way to the back, you'll find some pretty insane 397 weapons. Yeah, these wands are absolutely busted for a fresh level 85 character. So what I would recommend you to do is basically just to farm dungeons over and over to get a ton of justice points and purchase all the items you can get at the quartermaster. A lot of the rare and epic items we can purchase on the auction house are now also extremely cheap, as many people try to sell these before Mists of Pandaria, where they will pretty much also be useless within a couple of hours. However, rare creatures are granting you a lot of experience in Mists of Pandaria and also rare items. Therefore, gearing up now in the pre-patch will definitely also be worth it, at least in my opinion. What I've also done is to level up professions. Professions will be so important in Mists of Pandaria Phase 1, as you can craft insane epics and new enchants. But when you're leveling up your professions in the pre-patch, you might also be able to craft yourself an epic item you can use in the beginning until you have farmed enough justice points to replace this. However, it is a good thing to prepare professions because it's going to be mandatory, or well, at least very useful in the upcoming expansion. What will also be useful is to subscribe to my channel, because soon I'll be publishing a lot of more useful Mists of Pandaria guides, so stay tuned for those. As always, thank you so much for watching and have an amazing day. Peace.